post it to the sew along page?
Sure you can. Hi everyone! Sorry that took us a minute to just set up. Everything here just takes us longer than we think it's going to. But I was thinking, because I've wanted to do this block, hopefully I have everything here because I kind of just grabbed and came here. I want to do the stars. So if we go to, and this will just be good for me to have the sew along so I can just get everything done. We are going to do the stars. So right here. So let's get our handy dandy spreadsheet and we'll get everything set up. Okay. So the stars, that's going to be page 27, which we're on. The hoop size, 7 by 12 and 8 by 8 and 8 by 12. I'm already hooped up in my 7 by 12, so I'm going to go ahead and use that hoop. But let's go ahead and put our design in. We're going to be doing our quilting design is Celebration 7, the 6 by 8. So I'm going to go look for quilting. Shout Hooray. Celebration 7. And we are going to do the 6 by 8. So I'm PES because I'm on Baby Lock and Brother. And let's do 6 by 8. Six by 8. Here we go. Let's see if there's two of them. Only one of them. Oh wait, there were two. So 6 by 8, and let's make sure it didn't give us a direction. So 6 by 8 because there's a horizontal and a vertical. Horizontal is going to come first. And I didn't write it in there, but we'll have to add that to the spreadsheet. It wants the vertical design. So we are not going to choose this one. We're going to choose this one. And I know it looks horizontal, but when we flip it this way, which is the way the designs are going to be, then it's going to look right for our design. Go ahead and set it. Let's choose our hoop size. So I'm going to come in here and actually it doesn't have the 7 by 12 in here. So I'm just going to put the 8 by 12 because that's going to tell me how much space I have top and bottom, which is what I'm most concerned about. I'm not going to be moving my design left or right. I'm going to keep it centered. So we're just going to focus on the 12-inch part of that. Let's say okay. We're going to put our design in and then we'll move everything. Don't move it yet. So we're going to go ahead and add. Let's get the stars. Life is better. Shout Hooray. Here's my PES. And we're doing our blocks. And we're going to do our stars. And let's go ahead and set it. And usually I put on the spreadsheet if it's going to be centered or if you're going to move it. This one's centered, so we're just going to leave it exactly the way it is. Let's say embroidery. When you say embroidery and on your secondary screen, I usually call this the layout screen if you're on the Luminaire or the Solaris. If you're on the other machines, most of them say edit. It's going to be a secondary edit screen. We're going to leave it here, and now it's combined. The other thing is, if I slide my hoop on, which I don't have on yet, it will not allow me to move that design outside of the embroidery field. So when I move it up, we know it's going to fit. There's my balloons from, oh, remember, this is balloons 1. This is balloons 2. I'm going to be redoing that because I didn't cover over that stitch and it drives me crazy, and I was going to try and just leave it. And my head and heart will not allow me to do so. Okay, so now that, and you can see both of them. I'm going to take that, let's go layout, move, and I'm just going to scoot it all the way up to the top, and it won't let me go outside of the embroidery field, and you'll hear a knock knock. I have black in here, black marathon thread. I'm going to take it out. And I brought all the glide thread I have because I kind of just mix everything back in again. Color doesn't make a difference for the first part because we're going to be doing the quilting. But let me grab my little book and we're going to see which color is going to make a difference first. And it looks like this right here, and that color is, let's look at our, you know there's a guide in the very beginning that kind of gives you an idea of what those colors are. And that one is going to be tan. And the Shout Hooray thread kit, the tan was excuse me while I look it up because I can't remember. I'm going to go to my Habandash. That thread is I guess the mother company is Habandash. And Shout Hooray. Let me get my thread kit. Thread kits. Shout Hooray. Shadow Caramel. So that light tan is going to be caramel. And I know some people call it caramel. Right? I've always called it caramel. Sand dune. Here it is. So it's going to be this color right here. So I'm going to go ahead and let me just hoop that up. But the first thing, and actually, you know what? I am going to take this out for the quilting because remember the quilting, they're recommending all the quilting in white. I tried to do it in colors and then I chickened out because I didn't like the colors that I chose. So I'm going to go back to white. And that way I know it's just going to be beautiful and I'm not going to have any regrets. So go ahead and first is the placement stitch. This is going to be the placement stitch for the batting. I'm going to grab here's my little grouping. These are the stars. Here's my spray tent right there. I'm going to put in my batting. I'm going to grab the bumpy side. Let's put that in here. Bumpy side is what you spray. And we're also going to spray the background fabric. Make sure there's no dark pieces. You see that? That's just going to shadow through. So just get rid of that. I'll spray this one first, move it, and then we'll spray the batting. I brought my spray with me from home, even though we have it here, just because I'm used to this one. Like this one's perfect now. You know, in the beginning, it's a little stiff. You don't have to go crazy, just a little bit. I'm going to take this and lay it down. You want to lay it right inside the perimeter. And just lay it down just like that. I'm also going to put the background fabric down. So we're skipping some steps. If you haven't done these with me yet, we do this so that we can, and you have plenty of room here. You're going to have about an inch of room all the way around. I can kind of feel it. That feels good to me. I'll go ahead and press it down where the machine is. Don't press it here because there's nothing to support it. And now we're going to skip some steps. Turquoise is placement, orange is tack down. Placement, tack down. So we're going to go, I'm going to come out of layout. I'm going to use this button here. The needle with the minus plus is where we can go backwards and forwards stitches as well as thread colors. So I'm going to go there. This is going to be the tack down for the batting. We don't need that because we already laid it down. That's the placement for the background fabric. We don't need that because we laid it down. However, we are going to do that, and that is going to be the tack down for the background fabric. And I like that it's a color other than white. So when we go to trim it, it's going to be easier to see. How about we get the genie hair out of there too? Look at your screen. It's going to show you that it wants to do the quilting stitch next. Just confirm that's up there. Every once in a while, I'll forget to skip a step and I'll have to go ahead and fast forward or go back. And it's always good to look at that little window on your screen because that's going to give you an idea, or it's going to tell you what we're stitching now. And you can always confirm that. That's a lot of times where I catch myself making mistakes. So I'm going to grab my white thread. Whoop. And let's do the quilting stitch. Here we go. Let me get back to my live feed page. Where are we? I'm probably not saying that right either. Like caramel. Yeah, that's how I like it. That's how I like to say it. Hang on, I'm grabbing a cord for my machine. My computer. No, I think we talked about it. I know, but I just can't remember. Okay, hang on. All right. Hey, Michelle. You know, I don't stay up. I'm reading your comments right now. I don't stay up late to sew anymore because I know my dogs at 5:45 are going to be ready to go. And I can't, the older I get, the more I just can't do it anymore. I'm like, it destroys me. Okay, after we do the quilting, then we actually get into the embroidery right here. And so we're going to be putting down the gold stars. So we're going to peel the glitter away from our gold. Did I say peel the glitter from our gold? We're going to peel the protective coating away from our gold glitter. Hey.
The other one I can't find at all.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that one still never got changed.
But we never changed. So remember, what we did was we did surgery and surgery. I was just thinking about it and I was like, oh, we never did that.
So this
Okay,
was 2.5
let's
hours?
go. Let's go ahead. Give me just one sec. Let's go ahead and we are going to stitch the placement line first. So it says stitch star 1 and start star 5, 6 placement line, and then we're going to place the glitter. I'm going to go ahead and this is where we're going to put in caramel. Michelle, what do you say? Are you a caramel?
I'm a caramel.
Caramel. I can't even say that the right way.
But caramel works.
I mean, isn't it caramel? There's an A in there. There is a C-A-R-A. And it's not CARMEL. So, but I think I think it's kind of half and half. Okay, here's our placement line. Get ready with your glitter. So let's do, because this has to be, I can, 2 hours I can do it, but we're really flying. Like, yeah.
Okay, and then that one's 2 hours, did I mean? This one for sure. There, and then how much will you give me for the binding cost?
Let's make it 2.
Then let's make it 2.
Thank you.
2023,
2023.
not 1996.
Okay, here's our glitter. Easiest way to get the glitter, the sheet off, is to bend it back where the protective coating is, and then it kind of separates. There we go. I don't pre-cut this because look at the stars. I think they give you this piece so you can lay it all down at once. But I don't know. I just feel like, for me, I hate saying it. It feels wasteful. So I'm going to go ahead and now you can see which star it wants to stitch down first because you can see the little green cursor. So I know it's going to stitch the one in the upper right hand corner. I always look at the directions to see, are we trimming as desired or are we going to trim close to the stitch line? So it says right side up, tape in place. Remove the tape, trim the glitter as desired, which means you need about 1/8 of an inch. And then we're going to press it down. So I'm going to be a little more mindful of where this goes down. And this is a big piece. If you want to just like tape it down and just cover everything, I'm going to go ahead and place it down. I have lots of glitter pieces. Should we just lay it down? You know what? I never do this because I'm so like, I've got to save space. I can't just lay it down. But I'm just going to stitch them all at once. We'll just stitch them all, and then we'll trim it, and I'll have big pieces left over. Oh, migraines. Poor Miss Shannon, you're a migraine girl. I had a roommate in college who had horrible migraines, and I always felt so bad for her because there were days that she would just pull the shades down and like struggle to get out of bed. Caramel. I get it. Caramel. That's what. Okay, I totally get it. Caramel. You know, I don't know if I've ever heard my parents ever say caramel. Ever. My dad tells me, like, I think he was 13. He said he was 13 the first time he ever tried sugar. And it was like, was it the GIs? Because, like, they grew up during the Korean War. It was the GIs that had it. And he'd never tried sugar before. So I can guarantee you they didn't have caramel. Okay, I'm going to get my straight curved scissors. My curved straight scissors. And we're going to go ahead and trim this as desired, which means I'm going to give it about 1/8 of an inch. And since we're trimming so many of the stars, if I was at home, I probably would have done one star at a time, trimmed one star at a time. But I think this is like a good use because you use up this corner and this corner, and so you have all this extra right here. So do whatever works for you. I'm going to put this right here in my lap and go ahead and give these a little trim. We'll go this way. And do this one over here. So when I'm using my curved, my scissors sit flat. When I'm doing this, I go at this angle. Because the sitting flat is going to let you get really, really, really close. Look at this piece. It's going to go in my scrap bin. I'm going to take that whole piece. I'm just trying to see the best way to get to those inside pieces. I love the sew-alongs because it gets me to maybe not have UFOs and to use stuff on my shelf of good intentions. I don't know about you. And it makes me committed. It's easy for me to get bogged down with all the stuff I have here at the store. So doing this is like, makes me get through my projects. So I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. Do you have a question?
Yeah, both on the same day or week. It's a Tuesday, so do you want to go?
I don't want to do Tuesdays.
I know. You said the 6th, that's why.
Whatever the Wednesday is,
Okay.
or the Thursday.
Okay, and
The
then do you want them both
Thursday.
in the same week or 1 week apart?
I like them both in the same day with an hour in between.
Okay.
Would be great. All right. Aren't those so cute? They're a little irregular, which I absolutely love. I'm looking at your notes. He has a Canadian Northern U.S. accent and smushes words together. Oh, yes. You know what? So somebody told me they did Kingstar. They used Kingstar for this. I don't know. There's like so much glitter going on here as it is. You could maybe you would make it more blingy. I think that bling. I think it would just get lost in these stars. I think there's so much bling going on here. Look how cute that is. Oh my goodness. It's so adorable. These are adorable. Okay, what's next? Oh, you know what? Heat up your iron because I think it did want you to press these down. Of course, you're not going to press them until you trim it because you wouldn't be able to trim it if it was pressed down. So I should have heated up my iron just a minute ago. And so here are your instructions. The other thing we could do, you know what? let's just keep going because we have an opportunity to press here. So we'll press them when they're all on. So because you're going to do one more star with the, I think the silver glitter. So stitch the star 3 for placement line. And the color is going to be, did I close that window? I think it was medium gray or, let me look. I'm looking at the color list. Color list. And shout hooray. That is going to be light gray. Let me get my light gray. We'll use this. Let's go ahead. And then we'll press them all together, right? Why like do one at a time? Let's go ahead, and this is your placement line. You can see on your screen it should be turquoise. You're going to have 2 different stars. Whoop! That was my head hitting the microphone. Again, we're going to take off the protective coating. I want to say the first time I ever did a Kimberbell, I didn't read the instructions and I didn't know. Or maybe it was at one point I did one of them and I didn't take the protective coating off. So, it's not the end of the world. You can even iron on this. It's a transfer sheet. But you do want to remove that. You want to remove that. Okay. You must have to split this. Must have you cut it in different sizes. So I'm going to go ahead. It's doing this one first. I'm going to go ahead and stitch that one down. And I'm going to trim it, and then I'll move the piece over here. I don't want it too close to the edge because I want to have room to have those points. I'm going to go ahead and stop it. It's going to position itself, but it's not going to start stitching. Let me go ahead and trim this one first, and then we'll do the other one. There we go. So cute. Let's go ahead and slide this back on. We're going to put on the other store. Did I say store? Other star. I don't know what comes out of my mouth, but stuff comes out of my mouth that isn't what I mean to say. And then I'm just checking. So you can flip it back, make sure you're covering everything, make sure you have enough to trim out to the points. I would, Deanna, you need to, next time I talk to you, you need to tell me, you need to say, come here, so I can hear it, because now I'm interested. So Joanne says she used the King Star for the quilting and the gold around the fabric. Yeah, I think you could use it here, but look at all the glitter. So I don't know if you need it, but King Star always makes everything more beautiful, doesn't it? I know the first time, like, I have a friend and she's from Michigan, and even my friend Anna, if you're on there, and the first time I heard them say, back east we say bag, but I've heard, and I don't know if anyone's on here who says the first time my friend Jamie said beg, like, and it sounds to me like B-E-G. And it took me a minute to even like realize what she was saying. But since I've lived here and we have so many people from all over, nobody moves to Connecticut. If you're born in Connecticut, you're in Connecticut, but nobody moves there. People move here from all over. And the first time I heard somebody say like a bag, and it was more like bag, I had to be like, what did they just say? I had to, like, now when I hear it, I'm like, oh, bag. And I say potato, you say potato. I don't think anyone's right or wrong. It's just how we grow up. Okay. Make sure your iron's hot. Mine's hot now. We can press these all at once. You want either a press cloth, you can just flip up your muslin and just use that. A lot of times that's what I'll do. Just flip my muslin up. And now it wants you to trim the glitter as desired. Use a pressing cloth. So let's go ahead and take it. I mean, how cute are these? They're so cute. Whoop! I almost knocked back my chair. Let me put these over here. There we go. Or I use my Goddess pressing sheet. But seriously, when I'm using muslin, it's just my multi-purpose because it makes it so easy. I just flip it back and I don't have to worry about having lost it and looking for it like I normally am looking for something. I had one of my friends today posted on their Facebook. This woman was wearing a shirt and I was like, I need to buy that. I need to find that and buy it. And the shirt said, I have no ducks. Wait. I have no ducks. I have no rows. I only have squirrels. And they're everywhere. I honestly said something like that. I was like, that is me. I have no ducks. I have no rows. I only have squirrels. And they're everywhere. Okay. That should be enough. It should be adhered down. It's so cute. I love it. All right, next. We are on page 28. And it says stitch the star 2 placement line, place the star 2 fabric. Right here and right here it says color doesn't make a difference, but this color does make a difference, and that looks like the peach. Let me grab my color list, and yeah, it's peach. So that's the next color that's going to make a difference. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this out. Let me grab my peach. That way we don't have to change it later on. If you don't have peach, you should get it so pretty. Here we go. All right, what's your favorite fruit? Like if you had the best peach of your life, the best strawberry, the best watermelon, isn't that, it's hard to choose. I might go best peach. It's so hard to beat a good peach. That's really hard. I don't know. What would you say? So we are going to go ahead and do the placement line, fabric 2, and then we're going to do the tack down. So let me grab my, is this it? Yeah, it's the I don't think I want peach. I think I chose the wrong color. I think my color and my printer made that a color I don't want. But that's okay. That's just my, yeah, we're not doing peach. I wasn't looking at the fabric that was going down. I am going to do buttercup. That is the color we want. Buttercup, which is such a great yellow. Cornflower, daisy, daffodil, buttercup. And this yellow is almost like a, when you look at it not in the light, I don't know. Looks a little peachy. All right, I'm going to put in buttercup. When we're done with this, what will I have left? Just sewing it together in my backing. I have to finish balloons. Oh, how about we put our fabric down? I'm going to give this a little shot of spray to the back. I'm going to go back to the beginning of that stitch just because, and this one I think we're going to trim close to the stitch line. Okay, it's going to go over twice, so I'm just going to start it right here because it's going over twice. Tack downs happen, they go around 2 times. Strawberries, a good strawberry. A good strawberry is pretty darn good. That was a hard one. All right, let's go ahead and trim it. Since we're trimming, since this trim is close to the stitch line, I'm going to go double curved. That will always let you get closest. Is everyone excited for Cuties 2? I'm going to have to take like a day. If I had like just a day that I could just stitch and I could finish my other cuties and all my borders and
No. It's just, I don't know if it's ever been serviced since I got it here. Full service for $159
all right. And now it wants you to do the satin stitch. Just go ahead and hit start. It's going to satin stitch and we are done with this block. Let's get the next one ready. Deanna, I would just do an inch bigger, but my brain isn't big enough to think sometimes. So I just go on autopilot and just do what they tell me to do. Let's get ready to stitch out. How about we do confetti? And confetti is going to be the one that has like, it has, what do you call this thing? I don't even know what that thing is called. Do you like my Band-Aid? I put a needle went through my finger yesterday. I have no idea how it happened. And I still have this grubby Band-Aid on. Okay, I'm going to grab my stuff for confetti while this stitches out. Isn't this awesome? We get everything done. Love it. Now I just need to be able to find the package that says confetti. I know I had it this morning. Or wait, is that... did I bring with me? I brought streamers. So actually I didn't see confetti. Let's look at streamers. We're gonna do that one next. 'Cause I don't know if I brought confetti. I brought It's Your Day, streamers, and the stars. So streamers, which I think is weird, right? Is the gifts. Streamers and gifts. Okay, that's what we're gonna do next. Let me grab my chart. So it looks like for this one, we're going to do the 5x7 hoop. So 5x7, white for the quilting, and this is going to be not a huge block. So we can get that hooped up while this one is going. Let me get a trash can. I don't seem to have one in here. Alright, this is roses. This is from Life is Better in Full Bloom. See, I'm juggling projects. And they'll all get done, I promise. It's just not done yet. This can get folded out of the way. I'm going to bring this down. Fabric, a little bit of fabric. Right, I want my hoop tightener. Hang on just a sec. You should see, it's like an obstacle course here. I'm like ducking and moving because there's like filming arms and this is so great because when it's hard to just do your fingertips, you can put this on and there's a little screwdriver in there, but it doesn't fall off. So you can just turn it till it catches and give it a little turn. Don't crank it, just to where it's comfortable. And then this is what you should have. I'm going to be using the streamers. So we're going to use next. See this? This is for me to do my balloons again. Put that over here. I need to order cute. Yeah, you know, there are so many projects. So I really, at this point, I don't want you guys to be sitting there on top of a bunch of things that need to be done, although we just do that, right? I'm like that. Because I see something, I'm like, I call it the shelf of good intentions. Because did I do everything before I pop it out? I was like, yes, we're back to the beginning. So I got nervous for a minute that I didn't do the very last step, but you can see I'm back to the beginning, so we are good to go. I'm going to pop this out of the hoop, and I'll actually just put it over here on my ironing table, and now we're going to go on to the next one. And this one says 5x7. So I'm going to go ahead and just slide this on. These are the other projects from the other quilts and projects I'm working on right now. Change to a larger embroidery frame because the design I have in there is too big and I already put this on. So you just fold it just by sliding that off and just say okay. And then you can go home. So now it thinks that your hoop is off and we can go home. Okay, and I can slide that back on. All right, we are going to go in here. So choose the things that you love and that you will find time for at some point. You know, do you ever meet those people that they work as they go, they buy as they go, they don't buy anything extra? I have such mad respect for that. because they're few and far in between. I got to tell you, most people are like us and they buy, they love it, they buy it, and they get to it when they can, or they don't get to it. That's the worst. That's me. Okay. Streamers and gifts. We're going to put in celebration 5, 6 by 12. Did I put that in wrong? No, that is the 6 by 12. This is the wrong hoop. This isn't right. I put a 5 by 7 hoop for this. And this is a 6 by 12, and there's my back. Oh, yeah, no, you know what? We're good. But this hoop is not going to be the right hoop for this. Let me go ahead and take my hoop out. Obviously, we need to make some adjustments. I mean, I have that in here because it shows, does it show a 5 by 7? Let's go ahead and load everything first, then we'll put the hoop in. Life is better in full. Nope. Shout Hooray Quilting bundle, and we are doing celebration 5 right here, and we're doing the 6 by 12. So we're gonna go embroidery files, block by block, and let's go ahead and do 6 by 12. There's my 6 by 8, 6 by 12. Go ahead and set it. That was my hoop for my 8 by 12, which it obviously isn't going to fit into. I'm going to do a 9.5 by 14. And there we go. It'll fit in there no problem. So, you know, the other hoop you can use would be if you have it and you got it with upgrade. If you got it with upgrade 2 would be your 7 by 14. So there was the 7 by 14 kind of sashing hoop. I'm going to go ahead and add to this. And we're going to go in here. And we're going to get, so I will change this on the spreadsheet. You have an incorrect spreadsheet. Shout Hooray. Blocks. And we are doing this one right here. Let's go ahead and set it. Now let's look at the directions, how it wants us to load it in there. Center the block embroidery and the quilting design horizontally, and align the block embroidery file 1 inch down from the top of the quilt design. So we're going to go 1 inch down from there, which means I need to go ahead and I need to put up my grids. So I'm going to go back up here to where I choose my hoop, and here we do this, and you have 1 inch blocks. So go ahead and set it for that. And now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to move these independently, and I want that to be 1 inch down. So we are horizontally centered, right? So I'm going to move this one. I'm going to move it up. So I'm right on one of those inch marks. So I'm going to go edit, move, and I'm moving the background quilting first. Okay, so now the top of it is right in line with one of those 1 inch. This, we don't want to move it this direction left and right. I'm just going to move that. So the edge of that design, it says, yeah, 1 inch. So we're going to go, I'm going to go select. If I touch here, I'm still have the outline around the background quilting because it's like on top of that. Let me see, can I see it? I can't even see. I can't tell which one is selected. Let's see. Yeah, that was it because it moved up a little bit. So I'm going to move that so it's 1 inch away. So now I'm focusing on that red line around the present. And so, here, we'll go up 200%. Okay. So this one, I know you can't see it, but that red line is on, well, you can see it. It's on that inch line, and now we're moving this one up to this inch line. And I'm not moving it left or right. You're just moving it up and down. Okay. Let's go back and just make sure it looks okay. And I know it looks like this red line is below that, but the whole outline, whoops, go back, move it there. We're going to select. You can see the red outline over here on the left. It's a little bit higher, and it all goes to that upper line. Let me do this. I'm going to go frame. I'm going to do this so it's not as confusing. There you go. Do you see that? So the line for the present is on this line. The line for the quilting is on that line. And we should be good to go. All right. I'm going to say okay. I'm going to get rid of those lines because I don't need them anymore. The 1-inchers. I'm going to go back to my favorite, which is just a plain square with the center mark on it. And now I am going to go back here and I'm going to choose my 9.5 by 14 inch hoop. Now that I use the grids on there. And you can see I can move that up a little bit more. I'm in my layout screen or your secondary edit screen, so this is combined. So now I can scoot it up even a little bit more. So we could go move, and I could scoot it up even a little bit more so we're to the top. I don't have my hoop on, so if I were to nudge it up more, it couldn't go right outside of the line. I will change that in the spreadsheet. I'm going to go ahead and grab a 9.5 by 14 inch hoop. Oh, look it. I have one right here. Let me grab that. Hopefully my batting's wide enough, or my muslin. Okay. Let's see what I have. If not, I might have to just cut a piece really quickly. Here's my hoop. I brought some extra pieces with me. They might all be tiny. Little. This is for my 8 by 12. And 14.5. So I must have been doing, I did some kind of border or something. Perfect. So for the 9.5 by 14, I like mine to be 14.5 inches wide. Is what I like. For my 10.5 by 16 or my 10.5 by 10.5, I like my fabric to be 15.5. So I'm going to hand tighten. This is my process. Hoop, hand tighten, which I can't tighten anymore. Pull out all the wrinkles. I call them bubbles. It's probably not really accurate. The bubbly fabric, and you never want to pull so much that you distort your fabric. I'll pull it down, and that looks good. And then I get my hoop tightener and I give it one more just to where it's comfortable. Oh, it's pretty snug, so I don't want to turn it anymore. And while it's stitching, I will make those changes to the to my list. All right. This is kind of a good one that we did, so you could see like positioning and how to use your grids and how they make sense and getting rid of them again and what can be confusing to your eye. Some people don't even know how to turn their grids on and off. I've had people go, oh, mine are on. I didn't even know that I could get rid of them. Oh, what a gift, right? Finding a bolt of muslin. That's totally a gift. I just do that when I was younger. Where do you order the cuties to, and can I sew along with you? Linda, you can order the cuties too from us. And I cut more kits too, so you could just go into our website, A1 Vacuum. Well, it's a1vacandsew.net. And you can just look up cuties too. Did I miss anything else? I need to, on 4 cups a chair. That's a big job. Light box for the grids to put over it. You could do that too. I have 3 things. The first set of cuties. And cuties 2 will be out. I think I bought 11 or 12 extra copies. So I should have plenty for you, Miss Linda, if you want to order them. Okay. Let's go ahead and design is done. First thing we're going to do is we are going to go in here so you can see what you're stitching, and we can go forward and backwards. I still have my buttercup in there. I'm just going to leave it in there. Let's go ahead and stitch your placement line for your batting. Hopefully everything's cut right. Oh, it is. This is what you should have ready to go. So these are my applique pieces. This is going to be my batting. I'm going to go ahead and give my batting a little shot of spray. And you want to spray the bumpy side and the right side of or the wrong side of your fabric. So I'm going to put those in my spray tent. That sounds a little rattly. This should never be loose enough for you to undo by hand, but you know how your mama ears hear something? If they hear something that doesn't sound right, just check it out. Investigate. Okay, I'm going to lay this down first. And if you haven't done a sew along with us before, we cut our pieces to fit because then it saves us time trimming. So we cut out steps when we can. Okay, batting is down. Now I'm going to spray my background fabric, and we're spraying the back of it. Yeah, cutting an inch makes sense, right? Because you know where you're going to lay it and you can kind of see. And that's going to save you fabric. But then you have to do math in your head. Which sometimes I do, but sometimes I don't. Okay, I'm going to skip some steps. So we are going to go right here to, and what's been happening, Linda, with me and the cuties, I've been doing like one sew along, and we've been getting most of it done, and then I haven't been doing my borders. So last time, somebody said, do your borders first, and I did it, and guess what? The project got done. All right, so we're going to skip the tack down. This is the placement stitch for the background fabric. We already laid it down, so we don't need that. And that's the tack down for your background fabric. And you're welcome to join us any machines. Just know that I'm going to be on at home, because I do some of them from home, or here at the store. I'm going to either be on a Solaris or a Luminaire is normally what I'll stitch on. Do you have the book, or do you have to get it somewhere else? So what you're going to order from me, and it's totally up to you, is the kits. So the stores, so Kimberbell didn't create kits for these. So they left it up to the retailer. You get your book from us. So the book will come from us. We have it on the site at 20% off. You can get your kits from us, as well as the backing fabric. I sell those separately because some people want to just do their own backing fabric. Background quilting. If you want to do the background quilting, like right now I'm going to do background quilting. I'm changing out my thread. I'm going to put white in. You buy that from Kimberbell as well. So you get everything from us except the background quilting. Depends on the project. All right, I'm going to put in my white thread. And the book's not going to come out until the auto ship, which I participate in, happened yesterday, but I didn't see any shipping confirmation from them. Oh no, I'm ahead of myself. Happens on the 17th. So the background quilting will happen, the auto ship will happen on the 17th, which is next week, and I should get the books around hopefully the week of the 20th. Okay, here's your background quilting. You do not have to do the background quilting. You could use clear blue tiles. You could use things that you have in your stash. I keep telling myself I'm not going to get the background quilting for projects, but then they make it so cute and it's perfectly made for your project, and I end up getting it. But you can use this background quilting on any of your projects, and you can use it. They have two options when you buy your background quilting. You can do block by block, which will do this process, which means placement line for the batting, tack down, placement line for the background fabric, tack down, and then the quilting. Or else you can just do clear blue tile, and clear blue tile will just give you the embroidery quilting design, and you can put it on anything. And depending on your machine, you can size it, you could stretch it, or you just find the appropriate size design. They give you all the different sizes. Where do I find this spreadsheet? I don't have Facebook. Then you can't, you know what, you can't find it. Then, Katerina, you just email me and I'll send it to you. Just email me. Say, please send me this spreadsheet, but they are all on Facebook. I don't think there's a way I can post them on YouTube. And while we're at it, I'm going to go ahead and fix this spreadsheet right now, because you just saw it was wrong. Sometimes that happens. You know, I just put it together before I do the project. And sometimes as we do the project, I always call it a living, breathing document, and we make changes sometimes. So I am changing it right now as this is stitching. And then I'll reload it, and it'll say revised version or something like that. So you're fixing streamers 6x12, and I'm using the 9.5x14. Okay, and I feel like the block we just did, the stars. Oh, I have to add that. That was 6x8 vertical. Okay, I'm adding that too. Everything else looked right. Oh, look at this cut size. For this one will be 6.5x12.5, I think. Okay. Hopefully you don't look at that and go, well, if she says 4.5x6.5, I should cut it to that. So I just made changes to that spreadsheet. We'll do a little bit more, and then I'll reload that. So Katarina, is this the Katarina I think it is? Because if it is, I'll send you this spreadsheet right now. What kind of batting do you use? I don't like the stiffness of the project batting or a battleizer. So I buy, because I'm not a batting connoisseur. I know some people use bamboo, and some people, you use different batting for different projects. I just use Hobbs 80/20, and I use it on everything. And I think it's comparable to like Warm and Natural, something like that. I need bag making thread. What do you have at the store? We don't carry any specific bag making thread. I mean, I do have some nylon thread at the store, just in like black and white, because we do have some commercial users that come in and ask for it. But I really don't have anything. If I don't have it in the store and I special order it for you, I'll usually, depending on the product and if I have the margin, I'll usually do it for you at 20% off. So if there's something specific you want, let me know and I can see if I can order it for you. And then I'll just add it to your box of fun. Okay, here are the changes that I'm making right now. Let me get my pen and I'll do it in real time. And this is 6 minutes of stitching, so we've got some time here. Okay. We are doing like right here, because we just did the stars. This should have been, and I didn't note it in here, the star should have been vertical. Because there's a horizontal and a vertical. So this one's vertical. For the streamers and gifts, why I put 5x7, I have no idea. That is 9.5x14. If you're doing the quilting with it, you can't fit it in there. And this is so wrong. This is not your final cut size. Your final cut size should be add half an inch. 6.5 by 12.5 inches. Okay? Big changes. That's pretty big changes. So that should be good. And I'll change it on the actual document and I will reload it on Facebook. I'm going to wait until we're done today and then I'll do it, just in case there's something else that we find that's not right. Linda, I love the muslin. I love it. I just remember this is not a stabilizer. It's just a base. Because we have background fabric that's stabilized with Shapeflex and the batting, you're okay to use the muslin. But if you were just going to be embroidering fabric and muslin, I don't know if I feel comfortable with that, because it's a loose weave and there's really nothing there to help support and stabilize. when I first used muslin, we didn't have any fabric. We didn't carry fabric at the store, and I just went to Joann's and I just bought stuff. What I didn't like is they didn't have, I don't know why, but their muslin was like 30 inches or 24 inches. It wasn't wide. So I love the muslin we carry here because it's 90 inches. So I love that. But if you have stuff in your stash, use it. You could even use I have like random, just plain, I don't know if it's called sheeting or whatever it is, but I have plain white fabric or cream fabric. I've used that sometimes if I've been in a pinch. Okay, now it says, let me get my instructions. We're going to skip this. This is for if you are not doing the background quilting. Stitch the background placement line and tick mark. You do not have to do that because we've already placed it down. Stitch the background tack down line, basting stitch. This stitch will be removed later. We're going to start right here because we already did this. If you're not doing the background quilting, you're going to start right here. We're going to go ahead and stitch the present one placement line and place the present one fabric right side up. That is going to be, here are my fabrics. Present one is going to be this one, which is that peach. So I'm going to put peach in right now. Hopefully I left it out. Peach. And that way I can see my placement line. Don't forget, we are going to fast forward the steps on our screen. Ooh, 119 inches. I guess they'll sell that because then you can use that as like backing or whatever you want to use it for. I feel like if you don't, you should always have muslin in your stash and shape flex. Have them both. Okay. Don't forget, you have to skip this, not just in your mind, like which I do sometimes, but on the screen. So we're going to skip this step. That was placement line for your background fabric. That's tacked down. We're not doing that because we already have it tacked down. We are doing this. Placement stitch for present one, which is going to be the little peach one. I'm going to go ahead and give these all a shot of spray. I'm using my dime spray tent. Here's my spray tent right here. I'll just lay them all down. We're spraying the side with the shape flex on it. And you never have to go too crazy. I used to just literally do this like, and lately I've been doing like a little bit more, but not a lot more. I have that thread there. I'm going to remove that so it doesn't shadow through. We're going to put this down right here and let it stitch it down. And then let's see what it says. I think we're going to probably be trim the fabric close to the stitch line. Get your double curved scissors for this. We do carry the spray tents. They're $24.99. We have them on the site for $19.99. And just do whatever, regarding shipping. A lot of times we will send you shipping back. You could put something in there. They're small. And I don't know why our system does it, but the shipping charges are sometimes kind of outrageous. So if you put ship first class, we'll send it first class and then we'll refund you. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and we are going to do placement stitch for this fabric here, I think is next. So we did that. We trimmed, stitch present two. Color doesn't make a difference. Just go ahead and you can use the peach. But yeah, if you look, it's stitching down this one. And the tack down doesn't make a difference too. Looks like we're going to have some satin stitch. So I'm just going to leave that peach in there. I'm going to grab the next piece. Try and lay it down, perpendicular. Don't go cockeyed because it is directional. Might look silly if it's like more diagonal. Or it could look really cute. Let's go ahead and lay that down. Sometimes I'll peek under here just to make sure I'm not too close. Hi, Poppy. Come here. Come here. Mama's here. Did you get
Hey,
They were cuddling? Sorry. Do you carry... Oh, yeah, we answered that. I thought it was a different question, but it was the same. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and trim this close to the stitch line. Right. Next, color doesn't make a difference. Now we're doing, we just did this one. We just trimmed. That was step 6. Let's turn the page. I think the month of May can be a great month for us to finish stuff because we don't get the next big project in until June, and that's going to be the autumn quilt. Stitch the placement line. Color does not make a difference. That's those diagonals. And this time we're going to lay down the blue fabric, and it's directional. They're showing the arrows going left and right, which will be up and down once the project is done. For a minute I thought, is this wrong? There's a space in between, but if you look at the book, there's a space in between the presents. So you could put it this way, but they're showing it with the arrows going up and down, left to right now. But when it's oriented, it will be. And just check, make sure you're covering the whole stitch line. Again, color doesn't make a difference. There's going to be a big satin stitch that's going to cover it all over. After we stitch this down, then we're going to do the satin stitching. Oh my goodness, it's going to be so nice to have these done. I wish I'd brought the, let me see if I have the confetti, because these aren't long stitch outs. So maybe I could get this done, the sentiment, and the confetti. I'll look through my stuff and see if it's in there. This morning when I was looking for everything, I found my stuff in the most random pile. I don't even know how it got there. I was like so confused because I couldn't find it. And then it's like across the room in the corner by the closet door. All right, let's go ahead and stitch out. It wants you to stitch out the bow fill. And the color for that is going to be bow fill. We're going to use Sprout. And Sprout is kind of like that teal. Okay, let me take out this. Oh, this is how I take out my thread. I usually try to show this every time we have a sew along. But I take it here and I unthread it. I don't pull back. I unthread it to right here and then it just comes right out. There's a tension disc here you don't want to pull back on. I think I need better lighting, huh? Maybe like a ring light. All right, we're going to put Sprout in next, which is this color right here. Don't miss your take-up lever. That's the number. This is your take-up lever, that metal thing there. That is the #1 problem that comes into the store. And everyone thinks their machine is broken, because that take-up lever sends loops of thread underneath your fabric. And then if you miss it, it goes down, sends the loop of thread underneath the fabric in the bobbin area where you can't see it. When it goes up, it pulls it into a stitch. And if you ever miss it, loops of thread keep getting sent down and you start getting birds nesting underneath your machine. So everyone thinks their machine's broken, and all it is just a missed take-up lever. So be open-minded to the fact that you might have missed your take-up lever and just rethread, and that will fix your problem. Not all the time. Sometimes it's a real problem. 9 out of 10 times, it's just a missed take-up lever. Then we're going to stitch the satin outline on the peach present. So this is next, peach. Then hot pink. Is it hot pink? Yeah, hot pink. Bubblegum, flamingo. Did I forget my hot pink at home? Azalea. Looks like I did. Okay, we're gonna grab one up here. All right, let me hot pink it. Is this hot pink? Oh no, that's not hot pink. I forgot my hot pink. Can I get away with azalea? Okay, we'll just do that. It's a little pinker than I want, more like Barbie pink, but that's okay. It's going to be gorgeous when it's all done. And nobody's going to look at that present and tell me it doesn't look right. The only one that'll look at that and tell me it doesn't look right will be myself. But I'm going to put this in. Oh no, wait, peach. Good thing I looked at my screen first. It's always good to give it a second check, especially when you're me and you're talking. And sometimes you go on autopilot and your brain decides what it should be doing without reading. Okay, peach. I'm going to see about hot pink out on the floor. Hang on. Right back. I'm back. Okay, I just had to find like a hotter pink. And I think there, yeah. I'm glad I went and looked because I'm the type of person that goes, I'm just gonna do it, it's gonna be fine, and then it bothers me. I'm like, darn it, I should have, would have, could have, but didn't. So I found we're a sewing store, so we have stuff all over the place. And we have little bins of thread that I never even look at. And there was the perfect pink. I'm gonna put this one in next. Oh my goodness. Look what I just found. I did bring it. Okay? So I think we're going to have time to stitch out this block. We'll do the... I think there was one that has like a little sentiment on it. Because it is 11:27. And I'll probably go maybe 15 minutes early so I can get ready. I have a serger class that's going to be happening. Did you see how cute that stitching is? Like, how adorable is that? And it's just one color, and it's just the direction in which they digitize the stitching. But I always find that so amazing that they can make it look so good with one color just by the direction in which the stitches stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the hot pink that I found. Isn't that perfect? Perfect. Let me thread it up. I have no idea what thread this is. It looks like, who the heck knows what this is? There's like no name on it. It comes on this kind of weird little roll. All right, and just hit start. It's a little curly. I think it'll do the job though. And this is 4 minutes of stitching. This is actually kind of a longer one. 39 minutes of stitching. I'm 17 minutes in right now. Let's look what else is coming up next. After it does the outline stitch for this present, it's going to do the blue. And then it's going to do another present 3 ribbon fill. Right there. Do you see like the little ribbon fill? The green. It's going through that. And then it'll do the ribbon fill for this. Oh, maybe this is why this thread is here. Remember, not all thread is created equal. This is the perfect color, but it did just break. But I'm gonna, let me check my thread first. If your thread ever breaks, check the thread path first to make sure it didn't get caught somewhere. You can always see if it pulled up bobbin thread. And then maybe this is like some kind of no-name thread we just had here. Could be cheap thread. I'm going to go ahead and wants me to put my foot up. Let's thread. I felt a knot in there. I'm going to go back 20 stitches. Let's go ahead and stitch. Mystery thread. So yeah, we just have a lot of satin stitching. That's what takes so long with this one. Not a big deal. We'll just let it stitch. All right. Look at it this time though. See that? It's all tangled around the end. Made it tight. So this is like one of those times where maybe I would use a spool net. I don't know what this thread is. But a spool net will keep it from going around the end. Let me grab one. Sometimes you go, what is that thing? And a lot of people have never used a spool net before. Hopefully I have one in here. Here's the one that we use with our, our monopoly. And you want to slip it on, here we go, from the back. So the thread is feeding out this way. This is kind of a beefy spool net. I don't know if he's gonna, yeah, he'll work. Okay, and this will keep the thread from popping back the other way, or it should. Put that on. Let's go ahead and rethread again. I don't even have a spool cap because look, it feeds off nicely without the spool cap. Sometimes spool caps can cause an issue. Let's see what we get. I'm going to pull this down here. There we go. Okay, let's see if that solves our problem. Let's go back 20. Let's try that. And now it keeps this tidy where it can't like swoop to the back. There's your lesson for the day. Spool nets. Is there a huge feel difference between using the bamboo? It's been so long since I've used it. I can't even tell you that. My quilting experts, and I know you're on here right now, is there a big difference between the fill? Like, what's the difference between your bamboo and my Hobbs 80/20? This is where I become educated from all of your years of experience. All right, next color. Get your blue. The blue that they recommend is going to be denim. I also like the marlin. Marlin's going to be, so here are your colors. Like this is the denim and this is marlin. And you can kind of do either. I'll keep with denim. That's what's in the kit. And look, no more issues with our spool net.
It's funny, like, I would openly tell you, like, the next machine in the lineup, big jump. So you go from the 1350 to the 2500. The 2500 you go from a retail, not what I sell them for, but a retail. Now, it's a lot more machine.
Okay, you've got 4 minutes of stitching here. Yeah, denim looks best. Kimberbell knows best. Oh no, they're letting Momo out. Okay, next color. What do we have here? We are going to be doing that green, which is, which one is it again? Clover. Ooh, that. We are doing, hang on, let me go to my lime. Lime is next. Let me go back here. He's trying not to bark, but I think he's probably going to. There we go. Here's my lime. I'm going to put that in next, and that's going to do the little ribbon detail on this present. Have you done the blocks? It's your day to show. Have not done that yet. We're going to do that today, though. Is there any heads up about that you want to tell us? Oh, there's Momo. It's so in his DNA, he can't even keep himself from barking. So Patrick just let him out. Do you sell the Mastering IQ Designer book? Yes, we do sell the Mastering IQ Designer book. There is a map pricing of, I want to say $250. But if you put in your notes that you want special pricing, then we're doing it for $100 off. I gotta make sure of that. I'm pretty sure that's what we were doing for the mastering. I got this confused with the playbook. So yeah, Mastering IQ, go ahead and purchase it online and just say, please give me special pricing, and we will credit you. We'll credit you for $100. And that book is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. Okay, so we're going to do this, and after we do this, we're going to stitch the present to ribbon and bow fill, and that's going to be in the red. And the color is cranberry. So go ahead and get out your cranberry next if you're using your thread set and if you are using the glide colors. And here's cranberry. I haven't even used it. Oh, you know what's so funny? I was holding this up in front of the mic. I was like, here it is. And this is kind of like a, I don't know, maroony red? Pinky? A pinkish, maroonish red? This is next, and that's going to take the rest of your stitch time. Where did you get it? Are we talking cork? Are you ladies talking amongst yourselves? Ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, embroidery arm seems to want to pop up on me today. All right, I am going to, let's go ahead and put in the cranberry. All right, let this stitch away. 12 minutes of stitching, and then we'll be done with this. And we'll go ahead and we're gonna do, should we just do, let's do confetti next. So go ahead and find your confetti stuff. This is what we're gonna stitch out next. I'm just doing a little work while we wait. Let's do it, Michelle. Bump them. Looking pretty cute. I feel like there needs to be a color in this one, right? No? What happens there? Oh, you know what it is? I was looking right here that there needed to be something, and that's the bow. The bow that's going to be on this present. I like that. I like that they had you do a hot pink and then the cranberry, where there's just a little bit of contrast. Okay, while it's finishing up the bow, let's get what we need for the next one. And we're going to be doing the confetti. So hopefully I have the right measurements all in here. White thread. So we're going to be doing this one next. Just flipping my pages. There we go. So it's going to be this design. And I don't think there's anything special. I think there's one fabric in there. And then everything else is going to be just thread. Smoked ribs! That sounds really, really good. So growing up, my mom used to make, there's names for it, but in our house, we would call them Korean ribs, Korean chicken wings, Korean, like everything just has the word Korean egg. Look, sorry. We have some visitors in here that are, so, yeah, everything, we just throw the word Korean. So growing up, my mom made Korean ribs. So, and they were always pork ribs, and she would marinate them with spicy Korean, red sauces and paste. And they're so good, but I've never made them for my kids. I should try it. I can tell you, Shannon, you're making me hungry. Oh, hey, Linda. So, you do have to pay for it. It's an all-day class, but you should take our Upgrade 3 class. It is amazing. Michelle will walk you through the thing. You will through the upgrade. You'll do edge to edge. You'll stitch out a long stitch pattern. You will do the tapered stitch. You're gonna do the couching with the couching letters. And I want to say we have one of those classes coming up. Maybe it's the beginning of. Let me see if it's on the calendar. Upgrade 3. But yeah, I know I would be a little hesitant to try some of those things. But it's so nice to have somebody guide you through it. It's a lot of stuff. So it's a class, I want to say the class is from 9 to 3:30 with a half an hour lunch. So I'm going to go onto the website right now and see if it's on there. But yeah, just sign up for that class and then you won't feel like you're in the dark. And I'm so sorry to hear that your store closed. So, Upgrade 3, the class is on June 14th. And it's actually 10:30 to 3 p.m. So you could go onto the website and just get signed up for that. You'll love it. It's just a Zoom class. Linda, my daughter, so both I have 14-year-old. I can't even believe I just said that. I have 17-year-old twins. I guess in my mind they're 14. So they'll be 18 soon. They're seniors. But they're both going to University of Utah. And Violet's roommate is from New Mexico. She's from Albuquerque. So we're super excited to meet her. I guess it doesn't matter what I think. She's super excited to meet her. It's a Zoom class, Linda, so you can just sign up. It'll be Zoom. Yeah, here I'll add the link so you can get signed up. I think I had it on the website. Copy. Oh, you know what? I don't know if I can chat. Can I chat? Oh, look! I can. Here's the link for the class. You know, the whole pandemic made the world a lot smaller for us. So, and most of our classes are via Zoom at this point because I can't stop shopping, and so we have no classroom anymore. It became retail space. How cute is this? While it's finishing up the hooping, since I'm going to be doing confetti, and it looks like confetti will fit in the 7x12 or 8x. But at this point, I can cut these two off, and when I do that, I usually turn to the back side. That way I can see my stitch lines, and I can cut right in the middle. So I'll cut these two balloons off. One of the balloons is going to go in the trash can because it's so bad, and I got to get rid of that video. I tried to make it work, and I thought it was going to, but it didn't because this tack down was for the batting, and then there would have been another tack down for the fabric, which would have been underneath that satin stitch. So this is getting stitched. You know what? Sometimes I keep these, and I put in, if it was better looking, look at that. If it was better looking, I would keep it, and I would put it in the back. I'm a hoarder. Guess what? I don't think I can throw it away. Maybe I'll lose it. And now you're going to leave one embroidery on and you can you don't get that embroidery on, you lose all the fabric threads that you're missing with the hoop. Not a big deal. Not a huge deal. And you want to beat arrows up. This was a hoop that came in as a training, so it's kind of yucky. At some point I'll clean it. That's what you get if you like spray a lot in your hoop, which I don't really do sometimes. Lately, I have been just spraying like those pieces that are flip and fold. I have been kind of just spraying them in my spray tent and then putting them down and folding them back, and it's worked out fine. Because somebody was like, "Can't you do that?" And I thought, "Yeah, can I do that?" Tighten that up. We are done. So this one is done, and look how cute it is, and it's noon. So maybe I can fit in one more embroidery. We're gonna go ahead and let me put this in. I'm not gonna slide it on yet because my other design is bigger than 12 inches, so it's gonna tell me I need to switch to a bigger hoop. Let's come over here, and I'm just gonna say okay. I'm gonna go home. Let's grab our sheet, embroidery. And we are going to do this one right here. So our design is Celebration 5, 6x8. Celebration 5. Here is my Shout Hooray quilting. Celebration 5, 6x8. I'm PES. And there's only one 6x8. So we don't have to worry about horizontal or vertical. I'm going to add. Don't move anything until you get to your next screen or you color group. Not color group, you combine. Since I'm not going to, it's just easier just doing the second screen. So a lot of times I don't combine my designs. And I am looking for this one right here. Let's look and see if it's just centered. So we don't have to move anything. And I think that was accurate in both of these, but let me just check this too. Centered, so we're good. Quilting in white. I'm going to go ahead and touch the word embroidery. Now it's combined. I'm going to choose my hoop size. Remember, there's no 7x12, so I'm going to choose the 8x12. And I'm not moving my design left or right. That would make a difference. Slide my hoop on. And then I'll nudge everything up. Oh yeah, it won't. I was like, maybe we could fit this into a 6x10, but because of the quilting, it makes it too wide. So you have to, so it bumps you up. So I'm going to go layout, move. Let's move it all the way up. It won't go outside my embroidery field because my hoop is on at this point. And let's go ahead. We will do our placement stitch for the batting. Let's do that first. I'm going to spray my batting and my background fabric. Gorgeous this background fabric is. It is so, I just love this pattern. It comes in all different colors. You only have one piece of applique fabric, and this is it, and it's going to be the one that has the dot on it. Be mindful that you have shape flex on there too, and that you don't put it down wrong. Okay. Bumpy side, spray that. That's your wrong side. That's going to go down. And we are going to lay it right down in these lines. Here we go. Okay. I have some icky stuff on my batting, like dark stuff. Make sure you pick it up so it doesn't shadow through. And now I'm going to put my background fabric down as well. And check it first. Make sure there's no dark threads on the shape flex side. Go ahead and flip it over. There we go. And I'm going to just leave that cranberry in. And I'm going to let it do the stitch. This stitch, oh wait, nope. Not that stitch. Guess what? I didn't fast forward. Let me cut. That is the tack down for the batting. You don't want to, I don't even want to leave that one little stitch in there because that's going to be, it could be within the stitch line. So let's go to this button here where you go backwards and forward stitches. This is the tacked end for the batting. We don't need that because we've already cut it to size. Placement stitch for the background, we don't need that. We need the tack down for the background. And you're gonna see, this is where it started to stitch my, my tack down for the batting. See how far out this is? This is gonna be about a 1/4 inch outside of that line. So glad I caught that. Every once in a while I accidentally miss it. Sometimes I'll lay my hand on here just to smooth the fabric. And then I call this tickling my fabric. Sometimes I'll tickle it so it's not, so it lays completely flat. But this is approximately your cut line. Sometimes as you stitch, the fabric comes in, so I would never cut directly on this line, but this is what you're gonna fussy cut to with your pop rulers, if you have pop rulers. Okay, taking out my cranberry, I'm gonna put my white in, and we are gonna do the quilting stitch. Putting white in. Look at your screen. Make sure you're on the right stitch. Every once in a while, I, of course, miss stitch. And that's why so many of you about seam rippers, because I've shown you the ones that I love. And you're like, oh, look, she made a mistake. Oh, look at that great seam ripper she's using. So it's been an opportunity for us. Let's get our colors out. The inside horn fill. That looks like light blue. Do I have that? I usually at this point don't buy the thread kits because I have so much of the thread. I might have to just buy, you know, a couple of colors. That blue is, let me check it. I think it's Sprout. Okay, so I'm gonna do, here are my thread colors. I'm just gonna lay them out. I forgot my thread tray for Miss Alice, but we'll do Sprout and then the horn. Looks hot pink to me. My hot pink with my spool net. Or I mean, it could be cranberry, and those are really close looking on my list. Hot pink and berry. Horn tack down. I'm gonna go hot pink. And then we're gonna go lime. Lime looks next. Lime. And then the streamers, buttercup. Do buttercup. Streamer 3 fill. It all looks hot pink to me. What did you guys use? Did you use, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look at my computer, because what my computer has compared to what's on here could be different. And then I'm going to do denim. And then we'll go back and do Sprout. But here, oh, look at that. Looking at this picture, it definitely looks more cranberry for the horn. I'm going to put it here. Cranberry, hot pink. All right, that's what I'm going with. That's my final answer. So I'm going to go cranberry, and then I'll do hot pink later. There we go. I've seen pictures, Linda. Are you talking about the balloon, the hot air balloon races that you have in Albuquerque? Because I've seen pictures and it looks absolutely amazing. And New Mexico is probably like, it's probably like Nevada, where people go, you know, they go, oh, you live in Reno? How? And they think we're next to Vegas, but we're really, you know, 300 miles away. It's a 7-hour car drive. 6.5 if Patrick is driving. I'm gonna look you up. I'm gonna look up Hobbs, New Mexico. I'm gonna see where you are. New Mexico map. Let's go. Let's make it smaller. Oh, wow. You are like next to Texas, next to the Texas border. All right, I'm going to take out my white thread and I'm going to put in my sprout. I'm going to put that in next. I think if you're struggling with the colors, a good thing to do is just look at page number 16, because I think that'll give you a good detailed idea of what colors you should be using for what. So I'm definitely going to go with sprout. Next color after that, and this is 26 minutes of stitching. We may or may not get to that last one because I do have to trade out machines and get ready for the serger class. Hobbs is a city in Lea County. I don't know if I'm saying that right. New Mexico. Population 40,000 people. What are you known for? Founded in 1907 by James Isaac Hobbs. It sounds like such a new town. Following the discovery of oil in 1927, it expanded. It's always interesting to see. I've never oil and gas. That's what Linda's writing there. That's what you're known for, oil and gas. How are you binding your printouts? Okay, so if you look at this, and I think I talked about it in the live feed. Charlene bound one of my books for me, and I was hooked. So she has a binder. Hers does this like kind of like plastic, like these plastic coils. Okay, next color, and I could have actually left that color in there, but I am going to go ahead and put my cranberry in right now. It says color doesn't make a difference for that one, but let me go ahead and put cranberry. So I became obsessed with the idea of getting a wire binder. So I went on to, I don't know if you've ever gone on there, but I love a bargain. And back in the day when I didn't work, I was such a like big thrift store person. It was almost like an obsession, and I was like an addict. Like I had to go thrifting, and I would buy stuff just because it was a good deal. It was actually probably pretty unhealthy because I would buy like garbage bags of stuff. Anyways, grab your fabric. You want your applique fabric. Remember, this is the one that has the tiny dots on it, so make sure you're spraying the wrong side, which is the right side. This shape's flex side. Well, Goodwill has, you can shop goodwill.com. So we're going to put this down, and again, make sure you see the dots on the right side. And when you go to trim this one you're going to trim to the stitch, close to the stitch line. So I'm going to go, and if you haven't put it in yet, put cranberry in. They have, Goodwill has shop, Goodwill, I think it's shop.goodwill.com. So I just went on there and I typed in wire binder. And this wire binder popped up. It was like the Achilles 3 or something like that. Yes.
The wallet kit, do we have them?
Yeah, you can grab one that's on the,
This
is there
not
one
been
up?
pulled.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
You
It
check
doesn't
the
say-
notes?
I checked,
Can I check one more time?
yeah.
Just to make sure. Hang on just a sec, guys.
Maybe these are two different orders. I only check notes on the motifs.
Which order number is that?
9738.
The wallet kit and her tulip pink are both up front. They're already been fulfilled up there. Okay, so let's go ahead and trim this. So I just did a search and then this popped up. And then I did, once it popped up, because I knew nothing about trimmers or wire binding machines. I did a search and I did like one on YouTube, so it showed it being used. It's an older model, but they still sell it. And because the videos I found were from like 10 years ago, but they still sell the model on Amazon. I think it's called the Achilles 3, and Achilles is spelled Akiles. And it was like $400. That's the price they were charging for it on Amazon. All right, so this is let me make sure I don't lead you astray, because that's what happens when I start talking. So we just did this, trim the fabric close to the stitch line, stitch the party horn, detail fill, and decorative outline. I'm just going to hit start. I'm using cranberry. So I bought it. It was $37. I might have been the only person that bid on it. So it was $37, and then it's heavy. It's really heavy. It's probably like 30 or 40 pounds. So shipping was the same. So it was like $70 altogether. But I love it. Now, the other thing I didn't know is you can buy these wire, these things in all different sizes. I think this is the 1/2 inch. And you're going to see some of mine, I'm not good at it. Some of mine are like squeezed, so they're oval instead. Or some of them I put wire, like the ones I put on here are too small, so my pages don't turn. So there's definitely a learning curve. It wasn't like I just got it and used it and it was perfect. I did have to figure out. Violet loves it because she wire binds all her school projects. Kai doesn't care, but Violet cares, so she wire binds all her stuff, and she said it makes it look even more special and beautiful. Here we go. You want to see it again? Here. I should go grab some of the samples of some of this stuff that I've bound, so you can see how horrible some of it is. But I just love it. When I do it too, I've bought different paper. So I bought some covers. So I bought some clear covers, and I just bought these on Amazon. The cover, and a lot of times I'll do the cover with cardstock weight paper, and then the rest of the paper, I think the paper I bought was 28 weight. So it's heavier than just regular copy paper. Sometimes, so we're talking about spool pins. A lot of times I'll use this one because my little arm is short and I have to stand up to get the one back here. So sometimes a lot of times I'll just use right here. And I do have a vertical, like a 10 spool stand, and that's loaded up with like all my colors, like that I use often. They just stay there. But doesn't this look so pretty? I just love it. I love it with and you can buy back covers. They're like, all this stuff is kind of pricey and it adds up. Like this back page is cardstock, so it's a little bit heavier. So I'll do front page and I'll do back page cardstock, and then all of this will be just heavyweight paper, just a little bit heavier. Deanna, I actually have some people that, as my nickname, I was going to say, sometimes they'll call me, because it's, my name's Jeannie, so they'll call me Genius, Jeanster, Mean Jean. These are all things I'll answer to. All right, next color. We have it all laid out. Let me open my handy dandy book. Confetti. Next color is going to be lime. I'm gonna grab my other book so you can see.
That's because I have Fridays off. So
Ah, that's it. That's when I
Very
see
good.
you.
Friday.
Okay, ready? Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put our lime in. I'm gonna show you one of the first books that I bound. And this is how we cut our kits. And you know what? When we cut our kits, the reason I don't cut them earlier, because I actually have a book that has the whole cut list in it, but it's not totally complete. And it hasn't always been completely accurate. So I wait until we get the actual, like we don't, like last week I got the access to print out the instructions for the Father's Day project. That's why, you know, we cut it right after that. So I just put in lime. But this is what they sent us, and then I add stuff to it. You know, I add little notes and add cam snap, snap set, and clear cam set. So, see this one? I thought this would be perfect, but I can't even really turn the pages because it's, oh, I think Poppy did that. I can't turn the pages because the one I put on here is like too small. So you can kind of, I just still open it up. You just can't like turn it. It doesn't go all the way around. So there's all different sizes. Do you see how much bigger that one is? That 1/2 inch. So I think this one here was 3/8 inch. And I love a good bargain. I actually bought these wire things. I bought them, I found them from somebody who closed their store, like I think, or they had like an office or something. And so I bought big boxes of them. And I found them on Facebook Marketplace. You just never know where you're going to find like an amazing deal. Are you going to do the words and letters? So when you say the words and letters, are you talking about... I mean, I have like these. I am going to stitch those out, right? Because I need these. How am I going to put a pillow for Patrick without this? There should be one that says my true love forever. I'm going to have to create my own. So I am going to do those. I haven't even thought about it. I'm not even sure how they stitch out. Are they a pain? Has anyone done them? But I will stitch those. Haven't even read through the instructions on that part yet, though. We are about, yes. Maybe I'll read it right now. I have time. We've got 26 minutes of stitching for this embroidery. I do want to do, our clock isn't on here. I should turn that on. Okay, if you don't have your clock on, I was like, I'm not going to stop this. I'm going to stop this. There is a clock on your machine, but you have to hit the on button. See how it's not showing me the time? So I'm going to just touch that. This is where you put it on. So we are 2023, May. What's the date? The 12th? And you can go the other direction too. So I always go, which is going to get me there fastest. It is, here it is 12. Oh, so you can do military time 24 hours. I don't want that. I'm going to go PM. 12. And it's 12:24.
Buy those from them, but hang on. Hey, do the fabric kits?
24. Okay. If I just say okay, that clock is going to stay just looking like that. You have to hit the clock display on. And now look what we have down here. So now you can keep track of your stitching and make sure that you're not accidentally going to miss something, and our clock is set. Yes.
Do the fabric kits for cuties count for the Kimberbell event?
They do.
They do.
Fabric counts now. Fabric and the next event. I gotta have that clock. I depend on that clock. Am I the only one that It depends on the clock. After we do this, we're gonna put in our buttercup. Buttercup, buttercup. There's your song for the day. Set to the tune of Edelweiss from the musical Sound of Music. Okay, I like to make up my own words to existing songs sometimes. Usually it is not done purposefully, but by accident. All right, I'm going to put my buttercup in. Did you guys used to watch Sound of Music every year? Like, I used to watch that. They always show it around Christmas time, right? When you didn't have as many options. When I couldn't watch Indian Matchmaker, followed by Jewish Matchmaker, followed by Love is Blind, into American Idol and Survivor. So I used to watch, every year I would watch Sound of Music, and I looked forward to it every year. And I would watch all of the like claymation Christmas shows that I watched every year, like Christmas. Oh, I mean, who didn't watch Wizard of Oz, right? I would watch that every year. Gave me purpose, something to look forward to. Okay, while this is stitching out, I'm going to run to the other room and give Brian something to do. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry, was out chatting with a customer and eating cookies. Okay, just hit start again. It's the same yellow. What time is it? 12:29. We'll look at the next design and see if we have time, because we've got 6 more minutes. Wait, no, we have 8 more minutes. 8 more minutes of stitching this. What I want to do is I want to stitch out. I still have to do my other 9 patch. And then I have to sew it together because I haven't done that. And I haven't done my pinwheels. And you know what I really love? They have you doing your pinwheels in the hoop. I wish it was just traditional. Like, I learned how to, like, piece. The first piecing I ever did was with Kimberbell. It would be fun if some of it was still traditional piecing. Although some people don't like that. All right, I'm gonna put in my hot pink with spool net.
They're like, it's funny because
What do you think, Alice? Should I just put it on my horizontal spool pin and just hope it doesn't slip down? I mean, my vertical.
Yeah, that's
what
not
I've been
working right
doing,
now.
Let's try it.
what I've been doing is
We'll just try that.
like,
You have to be careful of it going down here. And actually, if you have one, there's like a white little spongy thing that has a little hole in it. A hole that's bigger than this. It's bigger than this. But it's perfect for thread like this because it surrounds this part. And then your thread can't slip below. Let's go ahead and try that. You're also going to use this anytime you use that vertical spool pin. Your spool stand. And I'm just going to watch it. Okay, streamer time. Go ahead and hit start. Max, who's one of our vacuum techs, brought us cookies today. And that's so sweet. Oh, guess what? See how tight it is and it got stuck under there? So I'm going to put my spool knit on. And I'm just going to put it on my horizontal spool pin. You can try it. And I probably should have just gone, it's going to get caught. So now I'm just going to go horizontal. But just know your machine's not broken. I know this happens to some people and they just don't understand why. And if it's on here, you can slip this on from the back side. I'm going to put it right here. And we are good to go. Okay, time to rethread. These are all great learning moments for us. Sometimes, though, that would have snapped my needle, so I'm glad that didn't happen. I'm glad the thread broke first. This is just undersewing. I'll go back 10. And we are back in the saddle again. So this is Streamer's 3 fill, and then we're going to stitch Confetti 2 fill. I don't feel like stitching out the letters. It looks like it's going to take a long time, doesn't it? Did anyone stitch out the letters, and how long did it take? Oh my God, is that little Max on here? Max, are you on here? Did you hear me talking about your cookies? Okay, it's your day. We'll look and see how long that takes. If it's short, we'll go ahead and stitch it. It might take a while though, because that looks like a lot of stitching for the letters. So most likely this is going to be our last stitch out. Do you ever use both your single needle and the multi-needle at the same time? Oh yeah, absolutely. Normally I don't use it. I don't know why. I usually do, like this project, I'll do it all on my single needle, and then I will use my my multi-needle. I really use that to do like stitch intensive projects because I like the option of the wider hoops with my sit down. Like I don't feel like I would be complete without a multi-needle and a luminaire or Solaris, and I know that sounds super spoiled. but there are just times where I just want to throw something on and just let it go. I'm talking about my multi-needle, like Everett's Cottage. I'm going to start that pretty soon, and I'm going to do that on the multi-needle because that's going to be 1,000,000 stitches. And when I'm doing something like that, it could be more. I just like not thinking about the number of stitches that I'm putting on, and your interval on a multi-needle is going to be like, it's like 1,500 hours, which is a lot. That doesn't sound right. That didn't sound right, right? Let me pull my thread. Thread feels good. Needle's okay. The other thing, like freestanding lace, like stuff like that, or anything that, maybe I had a coil in my thread. It didn't sound right, so it's okay. So, and I'll do applique on that. There's like a great button that you push on that machine, and your applique or your project comes towards you. You can just trim and then hit the button and it slides back. Wouldn't that be nice if this just came to, like, you don't have to take it off here. Just hit the button, comes towards you, and then you can take it off. So there are things that I like. There's things that I prefer. Okay, now it makes me go, there's something going on in my bobbin, because that still doesn't sound right. So I need to order. What do you need to order? Oh, look at it. It is the bobbin. So, well, that seems like that's okay. But sometimes when it's towards the bottom, it can cause you some issues. I'm going to take a peek under here. Look at this big old knot. Like, what happened here? I don't like that. I don't like it when it's globby. And you should see white bobbin thread. For some reason, it was pulling down. My upper thread was getting pulled to the backside, and that is, something was down here was getting caught and pulling the thread down. I'm going to put a brand new bobbin in. When in doubt, put in a new bobbin. Good. Bobbin cover, go. Where's the bobbin cover? Okay, I think I dropped it. Hang on. There it is. So your Luminaire, your Solaris comes with a bobbin cover with marks on it. Your Luminaire comes with the one without marks on it. I think I talked about this in one of my classes. I would recommend getting your straight stitch needle plate out and putting the one with the marks on it. I use the marks on my bobbin cover all the time. So you do have one. It's just attached to your straight stitch needle plate. I do not know why they don't just attach put that one on both of them. Solaris, it comes with it on. Luminaire, you have to swap it out. The serger class today is Zoom. Bye, Miss Brenda. Upgrade 3 class, Cuties 2 kitten book, Mastering IQ designer book. Make sure, Linda, you put special pricing on IQ designer book. Your Cuties 2 book will already be on sale. The tent's already on sale. Muslin, just go ahead and what else do you need? I don't know. I mean, things that I love to have all the time. Like this would be one of my top tools. This is the advanced screwdriver set. I love this, and it comes with a little screwdriver, but this is the thing for me, and I love it because it has this that you can, this is what it's really made for. It's really made for that screw, but I use it for my my hoop, And I also use it here on my needle bar. Even though it's too big, I can kind of peek in as I'm putting it on and I can see that screwdriver part. So I use it for all of those things. I couldn't live without this, but I'm a spray girl. Not everyone's a spray girl or a guy. I might go back and fix that. I don't know why it didn't go edge to edge, and I wonder if that's because it was getting tight. So it pulled in. Or you know what? It's just shading. It's just shading. Just leave it. And scissors. I mean, my double curved, my large double curved, my curved straight, those are all things like, those are my have-to-haves. Looking cute. Okay, next color. We are just doing, oh, look at, I turned the page. Just go ahead and leave in that same hot pink. It's going to do the confetti now. Did you, were you in my chat?
I was on my lunch and I saw you, and I was like, good job.
I was talking about your cookie. So I was
really?
eating one. Yep. Yeah. Where do I put, yeah, there's a comment section. I think there's a section maybe when you check out the very end that says notes, and you can just put it there. Is there a thread kit? Is there a thread kit for the, no, for the upgrade class, you're going to just, I don't know if, Michelle might make some recommendations, but you're just going to use whatever thread you want. There's no special thread for that. You're really playing. Just playing. Then I think you're good, Miss Linda. You've got all the good stuff. All right, next color. Let's put in the denim. Denim's next. Denim. So we had a little bit of trouble with that hot pink, and it could be a couple of things, right? Let's talk about thread. Not all thread is created equal. I'm using all glide thread right now with a Filtech bobbin, and everything has been perfect except for this pink. So it could be a couple of things. Number one, it could be the thread quality. Number two, you saw it get wrapped up by the spool, the end of the spool pin. So that was just user error. And then we put this on, and that totally helped. And then you saw that it got caught when we put it on the vertical spool pin. So it could be any one of those things. I always tell people when you're having problems, you've got variables. Your thread, your material, your fabric. It could be the stabilizer. It could be your spray adhesive. It could be so many different things. And then we figured out I had to change my bobbin out. So just keep that in mind. Take a deep breath if you ever have problems, and just try to isolate the variable, like what it is. That's all. All right. Is there a kit for the up? There is no kit for the upgrade class. You'll get a supply list. Yeah. So you should have everything. The only thing you might not have, depending on how your dealer bundled your upgrade 3, but we bundled it with the 10 by 10 magnetic hoop. So you will be using that hoop. And if you don't have it, you could get it. We can give you a great price on that, or else you could use other hoops like your 10.5 by 10.5 inch hoop. Material for the upgrade. Nothing fussy. You're just gonna, you could use muslin or just like a tone on tone. So there's nothing particular you really need to use. I'm putting sprout in again. This is going to be the last stitching. It's going to do the last of the confetti. Perfect. You got the 10 by 10. That's the hoop she's going to be using when you do the upgrade class. And it's a great hoop. And I think that's what Michelle prefers when she's doing the edge to edge. Of course, Linda, if you don't have a dealer that there's to help you, we can be your dealer. That's the great thing about, you know, I don't want to say the great thing about what happened with the pandemic, but it just, like I said, it made the world a lot smaller, and we're only a phone call and a Zoom away. We have a lot of folks that aren't in our area that we're kind of their go-to dealer at this point. And sometimes, like, I feel like our store has a lot of experience with machines and service. Sometimes dealers are smaller and they don't have as many resources or as much as experience too. So we can be your resource. Meaning a lot of dealers want to help, and sometimes they don't know how in all situations. And we're like that with some things. Some things we're not experts on. We are finished. 12:46. Perfect time for me to go because I have a class at 1. So I am so happy that we did this. As long as I'm going to look at the calendar, and I think we'll just do different sew-alongs every Friday because that will free up my Mondays, which will free up Patrick's Mondays, although I really like doing those sew-alongs on Mondays. What do we have going on next Friday? The 19th. Ooh, we have an open morning. So we'll do our next sew-along next Friday morning. I have a feeling maybe we'll work on finishing Shout Hooray, or we're going to be finishing up one of the other projects that I have, which could be Oh So Delightful, April, May, or June Cutie, and this. I think that's it. So, have a great day. Be creative. Make something awesome. We will see you next Friday. Alice says she's listening. And then, happy Mother's Day to everyone. I hope you do something special and you feel like an absolute queen, because you all are. And good luck winning some thread when we come back next Tuesday.